Crypto puts the financial system in the hands of shadowy supercoders. But the thing that I found interesting about it is she says shadowy supercoders as opposed to bankers, which means you're okay with bankers having control. So there's a couple things I took from this. First of all, she has no idea what she's talking about, right? But
at all.
the second thing about that is um, coders are changing the world, and coders are a big part of the crypto space. And it just made me think about the fact that with our kids, we got to get our kids into coding. I know we got a lot of parents watching this right now. We do our camp, and we taught the kids crypto last week, which was the feedback was crazy. But yo, find your kids a coding program, yo. Shout out to Joel here in Philly who does
Joe Wilson.
yeah, Joe Wilson helps kids learn coding, but that's very important. But just jumping into what she said, it was hilarious because like basically she was okay with the banker. She takes it out of the banker's hands. Like the bankers literally run the bag up, f up the economy, and then get bailed out all the time. And here's the quote: Instead of leaving our financial system at the whims of giant banks, crypto puts the system at the whim of some shadowy, faceless group of super coders and miners, which doesn't sound better to me. Um, Giant banks isn't good. I mean, come on, man.
Listen, man, because she's profited from the system. No one wants to give up like you gotta wrest power from these weirdos. Like you can't they not giving this power up willingly.
Mm-hmm.
The system is built to keep it. We read the book, The
Yeah.
Cat. It's built to keep people in their place. If you allow people to trade person to person, you can't keep nobody in their place. The government loses control.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want, if they lose control, then they lose control of all of the systems that they built, because
Mm-hmm.
all of the other systems they built is built on the financial system.
Yeah.
Because like we talk about, when you go to make a sandwich, what's the first thing you got to get? You got to get the
Bread.
bread. You got to get the brand first. And so when like they run this country like they making a sandwich. Like they not playing no games. And so the way to keep people in line is to make everything cost something,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so some things will cost you money, some things will cost you your life, right? Because our country has on their resume will drop nuclear weapons on your head,
But
right?
here's what's interesting to me, right? So, part I'm like watching the Olympics and I'm watching how competition seems to be more steep than in past Olympics. But I'm also looking at the financial Olympics, which is like looking at the global economy and how what China is doing right now in terms of the global economy. What scares me about the way the government is moving as it pertains to cryptocurrency is we're going to put ourselves as a country behind China, right? Because you can't stop Bitcoin. You just at this point it's done. You can't stop it. What you can do is make it difficult for people to mine and for people to kind of like have exchanges over here, and that would be unfortunate, right? You start blocking exchanges and start trying to. I saw them trying to pass legislation where they're trying to make like everybody KYC on everything. They're trying to affect people who are minors and all kinds, even make minors KYC. The problem with that is you can't stop the system because it's global. It's decentralized and it's global. But what happens when you do these and you actually slow down progress in our country, but other countries are moving ahead of us with this technology that's here to stay? It's not going anywhere, and you can't stop it. That's the problem, and I don't know
They
who's
they
having.
want control. This is what happens when people want control, right? So instead of saying, all right, let's gain control by being the best at it, they want control by choking it out, and then they want the bigger system to have control of it, and then the little people can eat the under the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like they've always done.
Yeah.
And since they're not the originators of crypto, and there's a lot of little people in crypto that made a big giant ass bag that they didn't get no part of. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want no parts of that. They don't want no parts of that, because if people can run up a giant bag that they can't get no parts of it, they can't control those people. Or every single one of those people is out of their control.
No, the funny thing is they don't even hide it. It was a senator there. I forgot his name. It was a white guy. He came out and was like, "We got to stop this thing because we don't control." He actually said that on the like they're not even hiding it. They're not even hiding it at this point. So I thought this was an interesting article, something to pay attention to. But they're not even hiding it. They're flat out telling you, "No, we don't control this. We can't control it. So now we got to figure something else out." I just think that's kind of foul, but
But my thing is, the only way for them to control us, the very the two ways that the government controls us, well, is more than two ways, but the two ways they control us the most is through finances, right? The 8 hour work day and then the low wages, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one way. And then with the threat of jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they take your time away. Both ways they control you is through time. Those are the two major ways that they try to control people. And so they don't have the threat of the jailing, and they don't control the time because you can make the money because it's an open market. It's a
Mm-hmm.
worldwide open market that they don't have any control over, no regulation over. And so they lose full crypto when they have crypto people out here running up the bag and they know what they're doing, they lose full control of those people. They lose full control of them and they don't want no part of that.